and I too would like to share in the positive vibes that are penetrating through the House in terms of the last number of days and the St. Patrick's weekend festivals. And I'm very pleased to report from County Clare that the gathering is working. I was out in Lahinch last night and the restaurants were full of Americans who were openly talking about the gathering. So I think as it is our major tourism initiative, it is now going to be our most successful ever tourism initiative. And this morning, bright and early, in a beautiful sunny Lahinch, 8 buses of Americans, one after another, were going to the Cliffs of Moher. So I think that that is a very positive sign that we're seeing more than just green shoots in terms of tourism in this country. I think that, coupled with our sporting achievements and the phenomenal parades that took place throughout the length and breadth of this country, shows that the fighting Irish spirit is alive and well, and that we are now successfully fighting back and regaining our country and regaining the pride that is in the hearts of the citizens of this country. And for that, I am very uplifted and joyful. And I think it feeds very well into the discussions that have taken place here this morning about town centres, because when tourists come to any city, they like to see the town centre. Throughout Europe, Europe is famous for its beautiful plazas, and as we call them, Masquelga, the shrouds. And like the thing is this, that it's awful to see for let and for sale and to let signs on empty buildings throughout the beautiful towns in this country that are famous for their history and their architecture. So I think what we need is action in terms of our town centres. I think we need to see some sort of a tax incentive scheme, a properly constituted and constructed and targeted tax incentive scheme for our town centres. Not just big towns, small towns, cities, but to try and we followed the example of Britain in moving our shopping centres and our shopping experiences out of town. It was a mistake. So what we need now is to try and redirect that and do it properly. And finally, Cathaoirleach, and I won't delay you, I understand that there's a concert organised for the Phoenix Park again. I'm very surprised after the tragedies that we saw in the Phoenix Park last year that's happening. I'm sure that proper procedures and precautions have been taken and that there are new health and safety guidelines in place. So I would like to ask the leader if he could facilitate a discussion with the Minister with responsibility for the OPW to come into the House and just outline what has been done to ensure that there is not a repeat of what happened last year. The leader.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach. Senator McSherry, and indeed